What's up, man? Mink here. Recently got into a little duke out with Clippers, and I obviously lost, so wearing that one just fine. So today I want to do a video. I'm gonna do some drill stuff, and it's gonna be a little bit of a longer video because I'm gonna try to explain things. I know in those 10-minute videos I just kind of rush through it. So I kind of want to explain my process here real quick. Not go into crazy depth, but just be more aware and more vocal of what I'm going through and what I'm thinking about. So yeah, honestly, without further ado, I mean, let's like just get right into it. So generally, the first thing I do is I just pick a BPM. It's really not even that relevant to me because you can always change it later. But 142 to I've been going up to 148 recently is a good starting. And then we just start off with a simple melody. I enjoy vocals, but I did lose arcade. So I use labs now, and I've been going to my go-to once it loads. There we go. Which is the warp fracture. I don't know. It's a nice sustained vocal sound that really just adds a nice start. So I like to build suspense in chords, which is pretty basic for drill. So honestly, just a real simple chord like this, where you invert these ones, and then you bring your minor chord down one to add suspense. And honestly, you can drag that across 8 bars if you just change up your last chord. So I'll bring this back down to show what that looks like. Bring this up one and bring this up to the 5th. I don't know what that's called. I don't know music theory, but I know it sounds good. A good thing to do to your chords, Alt R, okay, randomize them, Alt S to strum them, and very important, this one's very important. Some people, I just found this out recently, Alt X. Okay, I'm not 100% sure what it does, but it sounds much better. So if I go back 3, here's what it sounds like. It's kind of sharp. If I Alt R, kind of sharpen down the middle. If I Alt S and I Alt X, this is now what they sound like. Much easier to your ear. Gives you more room to build upon. And honestly, I'm going to bring that down and then just take these chords right here and put them up top, but then still drop them down some, so we just have a wider, more full sound. And if you just Control C, or just Control and select these, and then hold Shift to copy them and pull them up, you don't have to worry about the Alt R, Alt S, Alt X. It's already done for you. Then my next thought. Let me go into my one shots. Let's find something to kind of counteract that. So I generally go into my pads. That sound to me sounds like kind of at odds with my melody, and that's kind of what I want, right? So it's okay to try something and not work. It's completely fine. So let's try this. Okay, I'm actually just going to take this line and Control C and then Control V, okay? Perfect. It sounds like a male vocal. It sounds like we had a female vocal and now we added a male vocal. We can even get more depth in the male vocal by shifting and bringing this down one, and let's see what that sounds like. Cool. Okay, I do always on my pads like to do this because they just get drawn out and long, and I feel like it adds more suspense when they instantly cut off and go into the next note. That's just me personally. You do got to figure out what works for you. We're doing drill, so gosh, why would we not throw a cello on this? I don't know. If you know, or you can come up with a reason why we wouldn't, let me know, because I can't think of one, obviously. These cello moods, the awe has really been awe-inspiring towards me. So honestly, I just copy this and I just paste it, okay? Sounds dope. Let's just bring it down a little bit. Hold Alt and scroll, and you can mess with all the notes velocities as long as you have everything selected. So I kind of want it to be at odds with the vocals that I put in, so I'm gonna drag this down some. It helps if you're dragging the right one down. There we go. Okay, now we need another string. I feel like to get it pretty dramatic. That sounds dramatic. You really don't even have to get crazy. If you're working on your melodies, I'm noticing some people have trouble with their melodies, which is totally fine. Practice makes perfect. You'll never be perfect at them, believe me, but you can always strive for perfection, and that's what you should be doing. So if you're having trouble with your melodies, with your bass notes and your bass chords, just progress on them. You don't even have to like get crazy. I don't have to click around and like make it something nuts. You know, you don't have to do that. You just select sounds that work with each other, and I don't even have to stray from my bass notes or from my original chords. Your timing on them can help. One thing I've noticed, if you put something just after the start like it is here, it can sound like it's a call and response. So let's try that out. So you add some drama, add some effect, and if you want to even get crazy, we can do that. You know, it's not even crazy, but it feels like it's adding depth. So let's drag this out, and then we'll get crazy over here. Not really. We'll just put this up to where it goes, right? Turn it down. It sounds a little high to me, so I'm actually going to hold shift and drag it out and pull these down. Okay, so I don't like the offset, so we're actually gonna come back here because they need time to be a full string, since if I look here, it's gonna take a second for them to get to their full volume. So we tried it, it didn't work, cool, we pull it back. And then let's just pull these ones up. Okay. All right, now work on a bass. Haven't even deviated away from anything that any of the main chords that we did, but it's already sounding fairly full. Doesn't have to get crazy. We don't have to all of a sudden be a master of keys or anything like that. It's pretty basic to sound full, and I'll show you some things at the end here that can make it sound more complete. Let's just find this bass real quick. Not, I don't know what that was. I like that one. It's really not even that deep. So now when I look up at my EQ here, I really like to do this with just about everything, just so that things aren't running and clashing into each other. Sometimes notes overlap, and if you're going from one note to another note, it can sound okay if I'm using the same D sharp here, but if I'm going from one note to another note, sometimes the overlap can really muddy it up and make the chords not sound as what I want them to be doing. So that's just a personal preference. You got to figure out what works for you. But I'm just trying to give you a framework of what can work. So if you look at the EQ, we're taking up most of its range. All right. I'll put one on the master here so we can check it out. We're pretty covered here. Now let's give it a more full sound. So how do we do that? Well, first off, what I like to do is I like to split my tracks, pull them out here, and then I render them. That's just me personally. You don't have to do that. I'm just showing you what works for me. Okay, so let's cut these off. And you got to make sure that you get all these, because if you ever try to drag it out and you got a little piece and you're adding beat drums to it, and the drums just start sounding off and you can't figure out what it is, make sure all these are cut off. Sometimes you get a little sliver that throws your whole shit off, and I don't know about you, but that really gets to me. All right, so we got these. Let's put them on the our mixer. A quick way to do that is you just click and drag, left click and drag down, and then go here and just right click and channel routing and route selected channels starting from this track. I know there's other ways to do it, but that's just how I do it. All right, now let's listen to things individually. That's not how that works. Now let's listen to things individually. So this is my vocal. I'm fine with this. I already kind of know the wavelength these take up. I'm just gonna pan it a little bit and bring it down maybe. We'll see. Well, actually, I'll go through the process. I know that that's what I'm gonna do, but I'll just leave it here for now. Okay, so let's go to the next one. I definitely want that wider, so let's bring that out. These are already kind of wide. Labs kind of does that for you, so I'm gonna pan it to the left a little bit. Okay, because I know that this string is kind of a call and response to that. So I'm gonna pan this to the right. This one is a one shot though, so I am going to pan that a little bit. Okay, I don't ever want these all to be the same. That's not a good look. That's not a good feel. And then our bass. Obviously, you know, you generally leave the bass how it is, but you can honestly pull this out a tiny bit just because it's a part of your melody. All right, cool. Sounds pretty full already, and we haven't really done much to it because we don't really need to. A lot of these sounds come already complete. It's just about choosing the right sounds that work for you and what genre you're looking for, or what you're trying to go with. Sometimes it's good to have an idea of what you're trying to do, and then choose sounds that work for that. And the only way that you do that is practice. You got to practice. Sometimes melodies are cringe. They're very cringe to make, and you got to get through the cringe so that when you need to, you have a certain things that you're able to come back to that worked for you. All right, highlight all these. You can do that by holding Control and just dragging across. I don't usually get the bass when I do this because, yeah, I just don't. So I take all these four, and I want to route them to track 6 here, okay? Route to this track only. Now I take track 6. Let's name this though and color it. Melody bus. I usually say melody bus, you know, whatever. Let's put that yellow, okay? Now let's make this. Instantly I click this. I don't even need to hear it. I don't want to hear it right now. And I rename this Melly FX, okay? And let's put this red because I want it to be different, way different color than my other one, or chocolate brown, whatever, that's fine. It looks different, perfect. Now when I play this, already sounds way more full, right? Because put it on here, but we do need the sounds to be a little more gelling. We want them to kind of sound more complete, okay? So on my Melly FX, I put this is what I do every time. You're welcome to do whatever you like. You got to find what works for you. In different genres, there's different things that can work. But I put a fruity multi-band compressor on it. It's just what I do. And then I right-click this preset, and I go to Comp 2.9. What that's going to do is the sounds that were down, going to bring it up. But we don't want everything to just be all at the same level. Otherwise, things don't have their own space. So I will turn this one off, and I will play it. Let's mix this real quick, right? Like I said, I want this down a little. Drag this one out a little more because it seemed like it was cutting off a little too short for me, so I want it to sound more full. And that's fine with me. This is how this sounds right now. It's fine with me. You want to leave rooms for your drums. So now I turn this one back on, and it's going to sound instantly more full, and everything's going to sound more together. We just leveled it out, but it's going to sound more together right away. So now all I need to do is turn this knob down here so I feel like I can hear the separate things, but it has a more full, complete sound. I can hear everything. Everything feels like it kind of has its own space. And then here is just a little trick. I'll even name it chorus. We'll just for Melly chorus. Okay, you want to stay organized on your mixer. We'll put that pink. Okay. One more trick I do to make it sound full is I will take my Melly bus and I will click it over here. And I will put a chorus on here, just a fruity chorus. Right click your presets and go to fat and clean. So it's going to give it a fatter sound, but a clean fat sound. Okay. Okay, that's great, but a little bit too much chorus, for me at least. So again, I'm just going to click this knob and just bring it down to where I feel like it's going to work for me. Now I pull up the fruity. Taking up a lot of the EQ, pretty much all of it. A lot of room for your high end. If you were to put drums on this, you would take out the low end generally, so your 808 can come through. But the menacing bass is still in there for the dark drill that I'm going for, and that's your melody. You really don't need to do extra to it. If you want, there's other things you can do to it. If you want to see all the interesting things, stock interesting things that you can do, leave a comment in the description and I can go through some of that stuff. But if you're just having trouble with making melodies, start off with the genre you're looking for, come up with a sound that works for you, and then just build on those prior chords, on those prior notes. It doesn't have to look crazy. It doesn't have to be crazy. A lot of the times when people are making melodies and they're having trouble, they're just overthinking it. Make it simple. Make it simple and build on that. After you add some drums, you can get a context as to, do I need another sound? Do I need this? Do I need that? But to start off with, you don't have to have a Billboard top 10 melody before you add drums on it. Add some drums to some basic stuff. More will come to you later. I don't want to make this video too long or too in depth, so that's really all I got. I'll let this melody play through. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, there will be links in the description. Each time I make a melody, I try to put it up on Mink Made, so I will link that account. I'm going back to beats and tutorials on this page, Mink Rhymes. So yeah, I hope you rocked with this. Give me some feedback on what you thought. Constructive criticism is appreciated because it helps me get better. And beyond that, I hope everybody has a blessed day. Stay well.